Welcome to Sunday Night Spaces with AltJake and George, live on YouTube.
Good afternoon and welcome to this special edition of Sunday Night Spaces. My name's George and this is February 8th, 2026. And while I say good afternoon to you, I have to say good morning to my host and friend, AltJake.
Hey, I am here, my friend. Hello, everybody. It's 11 a.m., but I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm usually not a human this early, but we are doing the damn thing. But we wanted to do this again to make an offer to the folks over across the pond to join us live for the first time with us on YouTube. And obviously, there's something big this evening here in the States, and so we don't want to even try to compete with that. We're not stupid. But with that said, yeah, do you want to introduce our guest? Do you want me to?
Oh, you can do it this time. I did it last time.
Cool. Well, unfortunately, we root for the same terrible football team that doesn't seem to want to do anything with it. But Zeus is one of our favorite with the U guests we've ever had on the show. So here he is, the honorary Zeus. Give me 1 second here so I can give him. There it is. Yeah.
What's up? Thanks for having me, guys. Great to be back.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, after a terrible football team.
I mean, every time, like, just imagine too for me, like that's how I have to start my weekend. Like I got to wake up early on Saturday morning and watch them just be terrible. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
this is relief from me. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we can laugh and joke about anything else. So this show is supposed to be a reprieve from the anything in the real world anyway, to have fun with wrestling. So whatever it is, escape and join us. We're having some fun for sure. So we got some people.
It's good. It's good evening for you. So we got we got all the gambits covered.
Just gone 6 p.m. for me.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, no, it's just 11 a.m. for me here. So
wow.
Yeah, we got Sauce eating breakfast right now. LK's
he's
in
in Alaska.
Yeah, oh right. So it's what, 2 hours earlier for him than me?
9 o'clock for him.
Oh yeah, he's really eating breakfast. That's funny.
We got the whole world covered.
Yeah, we try to.
We're expanding.
we're open to anybody, you know. That's why I don't try to like put anything behind a paywall or anything at this point. We're available on all podcast platforms, YouTube for everybody. We've got ways they can donate to us, but at this point we're just trying to get as many eyes on us as possible for sure, and ears, and you know how it goes.
Yeah, 100%.
And we're going to run into this problem again for WrestleMania Sunday. So Zeus, stay on standby because you're going to be our go-to guy, I think.
Well, I'll be awake for sure. So yeah, I do all-nighters on WrestleMania weekend, so I'm available.
Well, and at least for the next year, George, just saying it out loud, with it being in Saudi, we won't be affected by that one. So hey, there's some bonuses there with it. But yeah, no, that is a very good thing I didn't even think about that. I didn't realize today was Super Bowl Sunday until like we were starting last week Sunday. I'm like, oh crap.
Zeus, does anybody like, how's the Super Bowl taken in over there? Do you guys stay up till freaking 12:30?
Yeah, I think some people do. Like Jake will tell you, the football team we support, we host a lot of NFL games in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Right.
And it's definitely getting more popular over here. It's not for me personally, but there are a lot of people who will stay up and watch it. Bars are packed out. We have a sports bar chain here called Walkabout, which is an Australian bar chain. And they always show kind of late night sports. They show WrestleMania and they'll show the Super Bowl, and they're usually packed out. So yeah, it's quite popular here.
Well, and the thing I've always thought about, especially with the NFL brand of football, it's televised very well. You know, like watching it live can be fun and you can enjoy it, but it televises well because there's the stoppage in play and they can like kind of tell you what's going on or tell you about this player or, you know, this person coming back from injury or whatever. And it flows well with that. So being televised, and I've never been surprised on that it's hooked in people, but that with people actually attending games, whether that's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or Wembley or wherever, and they've done it with the. They did one in Ireland recently, in Brazil. Like they're literally a global. It's cool to see. It's cool to see.
Yeah, definitely expanding.
I know they always take every tour they go over. They always do at least London every year. So
yeah,
that's a staple item, and they sell out the crowd. I mean, they're there. So
yeah, I think they do quite well because the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is in London, so that's kind of their hub away from home.
And the field setup, right? Yeah, for those who don't know, the stadium was completed only like 2019 around there, right? And so it's got one of those things where it's got two fields. They can like flip them and have the other field come in.
Really?
Crazy. Yeah. So they can literally do a soccer match in the morning and an NFL game in the evening. They've done that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Similar to the football stadium here where the Cardinals play, where the field is actually kept in a greenhouse off the, like about a half mile off site and underground, and then they wheel it in for games.
That's cool.
Yeah, because if you had the grass just in the sun here, it becomes dirt. We don't have much grass here.
Yeah.
So, but that's cool. It's cool to see, and then there's also been a bunch of concerts at that stadium too. I've seen recently.
Yeah, well. Beyonce's kind of the meme. It's like the joke is that our owners would rather prioritize Beyonce concerts than our actual football team.
Yeah, man. I just take the money and reinvest it in the team. I don't mind if you're making the money.
Honestly,
reinvest it back in.
Lady Gaga played there. I think
that's money.
I don't think Taylor Swift played there. Yeah, I think she plays Wembley.
She does. But she did. My wife is a massive Swiftie, and when she announced the tour, I was like, "Oh God, if she plays at the Spurs Stadium, like I might have to go." And I don't really want. Like my wife and I have a very good agreement. Like we like things together, but we're like she has no interest in professional wrestling in any way, shape, or form, and I don't care about her girly pop music, and we're fine with that. It's great. Like
I'd go to Taylor Swift. I would do that.
I would have this. She went to whatever the concert started the Eras tour. It was here in Glendale. And I when she was talking about it, I'm like, maybe, but the tickets were like 300 and change. So her and one of her friends went. And what I was great. I drove them there. And one of my good friends was also going with his wife. And I arranged him to bring them back. It was great. All I had to do was drop them off. And it was awesome. It was the best. I am not one of those husbands and men who's anti Taylor Swift. I'm like, you go, do what you want.
Absolutely.
Have all the fun you can have. I am all for it.
I don't know if I'd go watch her show. I've seen her perform live enough where I'd be like interested in going, but I'd have to have a good reason, and my ticket would have to be free.
Right. Yeah. I mean, anything though. I'm a big fan of just about any live entertainment. At least I guess in that same sense. I'm not looking to pay for it or whatever, but for free or a discounted ticket, or like, hey, you can go hang out in the suite for somebody. Like, all right, sure, I'll go. I've seen concerts of bands that you've never heard of, or I didn't know anything about or didn't like, but I'll go see anything live once.
Sure. I have a question. I have a question for you two guys. In football in Europe, they have lower classes, right? Like minor leagues and stuff, I assume.
Yes. It's different, but yes.
Is there a big difference like there is here? What I'm saying is when you're in the NHL or the MLB, okay, you're carted around and charter flights and everything. But if you play in the minors, you're bussing everywhere. Is that the same basic concept over there?
I think so. Yeah. I think in England, for example, it's like a tiered system. So it's like the Premier League, the Championship, League One, League Two, and that's your 4 kind of tiers. And it does all come down to money and revenue. So if you're kind of a Premier League team and you're in London and you have to go and play in Newcastle or Manchester, then it's usually like jets most of the time.
Okay.
But obviously in the lower leagues, it is coaches, etc. Just because the revenue flow is nowhere near as big.
Right. That's the big thing is it's the money from the television. Cause I know
it's television.
Like, yeah. Cause with promotion to relegation. So the people who don't know, like the bottom 3 teams in each league go down, and then essentially the top 3 teams go up, but it's really an automatic team. And there's a playoff or whatever with it. But the game to get into the Premier League, that playoff game, they call it the richest game in football because you go from being in a decent league that some people watch to the most popular league in the entire world. So it's it's like a difference of over $100 million in revenue to your club.
The reason why I kind of brought it up because I remembered, dude, playing hockey in an organization in the minor leagues, you're on a bus constantly. Like that's your life. You're on a bus. That's all you do.
I just made me think of like it's like Bull Durham, but for hockey, right? Yeah,
you make fun, everyone makes fun of that, but that's exactly how it is.
Right? No, it's not the same where like in Bull Durham where all the balls are white, but I can imagine like all the pucks are smooth. Like you're trying to play bouncing on the ice because they're all beat up. Yeah, I mean that's just like anything. It comes down to the revenue streams and where you can actually make your money as a club, and that's why a lot of those smaller ones don't ever get much bigger than that. But it's also there's some charm in that with football too, where there are some of the lower league teams or even non-league teams that go on like a cup run or do something. I know when Spurs had to play, was it Marine where we were playing?
Oh,
where like the behind the goal is just a neighborhood. Like behind the goal is people's back gardens, and there's numbers there so that you can see where the ball went, so you can go to the front house and knock on the door and go get the ball out of there. Like it's actually built into it, because these stadiums, they're in the neighborhoods. That's why I always compare, English football and even football around the world a lot to like what we look at for college football here, where people are just ingrained in it, where they're rotating their players every 2 to 4 years, so they just care about the team, and it's more about the tailgate and the club and all of that. So it's something that they everybody there, from my understanding, has like a Premier League or a big team they root for, but a lot of people also like have their local team as well. Like the guy who is the president of the Arizona Spurs club here, he's from England, and he's from Stevenage, so his local team is Stevenage, which is funny because his name's Steve. But he's a big Spurs fan too, because it's very rare, if ever, that your teams are going to play against each other. It's like rooting for a Major League Baseball team and your local AA team. Like, so it's fun. It's good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I like that.
So Zeus, you're new to our YouTube listeners here. So can you give people maybe a breakdown as to how you got into the wrestling? Because this is a wrestling show. We've been doing soccer for a little while here, but that's fine. Can you tell the people that are new to you how you got into wrestling, what your gig is, what you like, what you don't like, etc., etc.
Here, we'll pull you up your page while we're discussing. Here you go. There's your YouTube or your Twitter profile. Pull that up.
There's me.
Yep.
Yeah, I got into wrestling probably. I remember the first wrestling match that I remember was probably Undertaker Mankind, the Boiler Room Brawl, which was SummerSlam 96, 97.
Yep. Cleveland.
Yeah. And I think I was like out playing in the garden, and my father said, "Hey, come watch this," because it was on replay, because it was like the Wednesday after at like 7
right.
And from then I just kind of got on to watching it. So I was basically brought up through the Attitude Era. That was kind of my introduction to wrestling, and I loved it. And it's because of that kind of stuff that I grew up largely watching WWE, and became a really big fan of kind of the storytelling aspect and the characters and things like that. And that's kind of stuck with me to where I am now as an old man. And I kind of still, and obviously I look back fondly on the Attitude Era, and I try my best not to kind of compare where we are now to the Attitude Era, because I feel like I'll always miss it. But I just love the crazy zany stuff that happened, and obviously a lot of it wouldn't pass in today's society. So we can't have everything. But I think I still try and hold on to, if I'm watching the product now, I'll try and look for where's the best kind of storytelling, where's the best character development. But I do appreciate some great athletic wrestling as well. So a nice hybrid is perfect for me, but I'd prioritize a really good story over just a really
every time, my friend. I'm the same way with that.
So Zeus, what do you think the best story right now is in any wrestling, for that matter?
Oh boy, you put me on the spot.
Tough question.
In terms of what I'm really kind of invested in, I did like the Drew Cody stuff as it was going on. I thought Drew did some fantastic work in terms of the build to that 3 stages of hell match. I will say I don't think we've been spoiled recently in terms of really good, like, gripping stuff.
Yeah.
I do like a bit of NXT. There's some kind of good stuff going on in NXT sometimes, especially with the women, because they kind of prioritize the women a lot down there, and you see a lot of kind of storylines amongst women that don't necessarily involve titles and stuff, because there's a lot of them and there's a lot of stuff to play with.
Right.
So like Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley I really enjoyed, because it was kind of one of those really relatable stories where Tatum Paxley is her character is kind of like the alternative, the awkward, the bullied girl, and
just wants to be accepted by her friends.
Yeah. And Izzy Dame's the perfect archetype of the mean girl, and it's just like a really relatable story, isn't it? And
she's really come into her own the last 6 months. Like, you've really seen her, like, even before she got the North American title, but like the stuff with the culling and just like, we could all tell that she was going to turn on Tatum, but the way it was done, it was good stuff. It's entertaining. That's why, NXT is not always going to be the best show, but I'm always entertained, and I usually enjoy it. It's, kind of like I was similar comparison I was talking about sports with. It's like watching college versus pro. It's like, yeah, you're going to see some mistakes. There's going to be some sloppiness, but you can see the potential and talent. And then when you see somebody like Trick Williams nailing it every time he's on TV with guys like Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, that's why it's there. It's perfect.
Yeah, and I feel bad for people who kind of, obviously a lot of the WWE especially the live audience is more of a casual audience these days, and they're probably only seeing Trick Williams for the first time now he's on SmackDown. And it's like, but we got to see him grow and develop from somebody who was like kind of not, he was always charismatic, but you know, to see him grow from, you know, being really green in NXT to holding his own with Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn on the main roster is really good to see.
Right. He was Melo's sidekick. Like, I mean, you got like, that's when you think about that, you're like, when you look at him now, you're like, Trick is no one's sidekick, but that's
exactly. He needs a sidekick.
Right. That's
he's going to get one too.
I think, and that's
we'll talk about that.
That's what I love about NXT, where they give people a chance to grow and progress. And that's why sometimes where you hear pundits or people that don't watch it or only see clips come, you know, bag on or say how bad it is. Like, well, it's a learning curve. Like, it's still, I know they don't always look at it as developmental, but when you get signed and that's where you go to start, that's developmental. It is, and it's fine. It's still fun with it. So yeah.
Plus Sean HBK. We've talked about this before, and the best thing I've done is now I watch NXT every week, which I did not do because I thought it was kind of like, basically. I watch it. I'm into it. 2 hours flies by. I like it. I love how the show is formatted. I love what Sean does with everything from the front to the front to the end is perfectly timed. It's just a smooth show.
Yeah, there's something for everyone on NXT, and I think that you see a lot of people say, is it development or is it not? I think it has to be a mixture of both, because if you're going to have talent who are developing, then you need a mixture of your experienced heads in there to help them, especially when it comes to like live. So Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, they're not developmental, but they need to be there to help the people who are.
We talked about that all the time. Like, these guys should not go up. Ethan Page, stay where you are. You're perfect in your role and stay there. Don't call him up. No.
I think Ricky goes up at some point, but Ethan Page, because of like this, and you see it with Ethan, like what is it, LaFleur, the French kid they just brought up, who was his first match against? Ethan Page, like Javon Evans, right when Javon was starting, like they introduced Javon, and then his first like real storyline he could sink his teeth into with the jaw breaking and the hit stuff, Ethan Page, like, and even Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, like, he's perfect. He's like, I'm not sure I know of a more perfect fit for a wrestler in the world right now than where Ethan is in NXT. Plus, he gets to do the stuff in AAA as well. Like, and you can see how happy he is every time. Like, that smile isn't a fake. Like, when he's pointing at his smile, like, that's a real smile.
Yeah, he's been fantastic as well. Like, the last 12 months, he's just had a really great run.
Yeah, absolutely. And
hey, if you're new to chat, please hit the like button and hit the heart in the chat. It helps the algorithm and all that stuff. And our special guest today is the Honorary Zeus, in case anybody wants to know who this is.
Yeah, and that's why I've got his Twitter profile up there if you guys want to go ahead and give him a follow. And then I know you've got a YouTube channel. Are you you're doing the podcast stuff too, or are you still trying to get into that? I know you guys had started stuff, but I've been in my own world so much I haven't paid much attention to even like the podcast I normally we watch weekly, like Cornette ones have bottled up on me. I've just been so busy.
I've kind of got loads of kind of ideas floating around, but nothing kind of really put in stone. So we're doing a couple of things. We do regular spaces on Twitter. So we do a space usually either before Raw, before SmackDown, so anyone can jump into those as long as you're not an asshole. And then I do have a YouTube channel where what I do is I take the latest WWE 2K game, which is shortly going to be 2K26, and I download community creations, loads of like cartoon characters and comic book characters, so you can have like Shrek versus Deadpool and stuff like that. And then I pump like 100 of them into universe mode, and we just create like a weekly show featuring all of these, and I do the commentary. So I'm going to try and resume that with 2K26 because I'm hoping the universe mode is going to be a lot more advanced, so I can do more cool stuff. So yeah, that's going to be coming up, but the channel is live, and I did some videos last year to kind of test how it works. So there's some
cool,
if you want to watch Deadpool versus Jason Voorhees, you can go and watch that live on YouTube now. Or Bugs Bunny trying to beat Bane, that kind of stuff's on there.
That's good.
So that's what we're going to be doing when the new game comes out in about a month's time.
No, that's cool. That's a fun way to do it. I like that.
Yeah, it cracks me up. So I just try not to laugh on commentary when I see Ed and Eddie versus the Mario Brothers in a TLC match, which looks as ridiculous as it sounds.
Which, I mean, that's fair. That's fun though. That's cool.
It is fun. Yeah, I do like it.
Ren and Stimpy against Stewie and Chris Griffin.
Oh, I've got Stewie. I don't have Ren and Stimpy though. I might have to look for that.
Yes. Ideas. Sorry.
No. Well, and stuff like that too. You can also get involved and have people like make suggestions and stuff, and have people interact with it.
Yeah,
the interactivity and the authenticity is what people, for at least what I've seen, that people have clung to for this type of content. That's why we do these shows the way we've done them. Is just, when we're live, we have to just be ourselves and have fun with it, and people seem to enjoy it. So I really.
Yeah, and there's no Patreon or anything. So if I do like a big pay-per-view, it'll be free. Like, I'm not going to charge any money for this kind of thing. It's just fun for me to do. And if people like it and it gets popular, then that's fine. But it's good experience for me as well, like video editing, because I have to do all myself. So that's kind of good experience as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can do some fun stuff with that.
Yeah, people don't realize how much that actually involves and takes for all of a sudden.
Oh man, yeah,
diving deep into that. Yeah,
it's like one episode of Raw on Universe mode can be like maybe 45 minutes runtime from start to finish, and then the editing on top of that could be up to 2 or 3 hours per episode.
And then if you want to put them in clips or whatever else,
clip them up, make shorts,
there's so much
things
to
like
do.
that. Yeah, and then obviously I work full time and I travel a lot for work as well, so it's kind of
cool.
It's kind of trying to find the time.
Oh yeah, you were in Milan recently, weren't you?
Rome, yeah, I went to
Rome. Okay, I knew it was somewhere, and that's really cool too, where you can have experiences like that. And you did that. Was that for work or just was that for?
No, that was just that was kind of like a much needed holiday.
Love it. Nice.
I found some crazy football shirts over there as well, so that was good. Cool. That's what I was looking for.
So, Steve, when you watch WWE, are you watching it all through Netflix?
Yeah, so over here, we get everything on Netflix: Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, NXT. It's all kind of housed on the one platform, which is great. So all I have to do whenever it's on is I can watch it on demand, I can watch it live, pay-per-views. The only thing we don't get is the Saturday night's main events. They're on YouTube, but that's still free for us. So
right, I was gonna say, I'm like that's an easy adjustment to make on it.
Yeah. We've got YouTube Premium as well, so no adverts, thankfully.
Good, yeah, that's what I got. Yeah, so you're not affected by the next 2 weeks of SmackDown being on Sci-Fi Network.
No, I mean
the Olympics,
I don't know how it works because we still get on SmackDown we still get adverts, but it's not adverts per se. It's just that we'll be right back screen with wrestlers posing for like 3 minutes at a time. But we don't get it during the matches. During the matches, we get to see the match with the little timer in the corner, so we don't miss out on any action.
That's cool.
Which is nice. Cool. Yeah.
You mentioned you kind of hinted at this a little while ago when we were talking about Trick. So what do you think's going with? Or you think he's going to get a colleague with them? They're going to form a group. What are you thinking here? Because I know you said we'll talk about it later. Let's bring it up now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No time like the present.
That's what I was just going to say.
So Trick Williams, I think Trick Williams has been probably one of the most successful call-ups in recent memory in terms of how he's adjusted to the main roster and how over he is. And I think Oba will be kind of up there with him. And I'm trying to think, I thought of like, not necessarily who Trick could benefit off of, but who could benefit off Trick because he's just so massively over. And I honestly think Royce Keys is a really good choice to put with him. I really do. Because Royce Keys
together or against?
Together. I would have him as a heavy for Trick. It's like a kind of like enforcer, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And because I think that I like Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys, whatever he's called now. He's a good talker. He's a great wrestler. But I think in the WWE system, I think he's like most people who have kind of, come in, they're relatively unknown. There's a danger of them kind of getting lost amongst the shuffle. So I think if you went out there and you put Powerhouse Hobbs just on his own in singles matches, I think there's a risk of him getting lost in the shuffle. Whereas I think if you kind of pair him with someone like Trick Williams, then he can kind of absorb some of that heat that Trick Williams is getting. He's already popular. And then people will start to associate them together. And I think it's a much better recipe for someone like Royce Keys to get over if he can, I don't want to use the word leech, but kind of, get some of that off of Trick. You know what I mean?
And he doesn't have to do, it's one of those things where he's not just getting paired with him, but he doesn't have to do all the work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not all him the whole time. Like, he doesn't have to be there by himself. Like, sometimes just having that, it's almost like having a safety net with him. And with his look, it's easy to have him be that heavy and kind of learn on the job, especially if he's not going to go to NXT. You don't just want to throw him into the mix.
Jake, that's what I was just going to ask you. I don't mean to interrupt, but
you're good. That's fine.
I think he needs to go to NXT. We talk about it all the time. When they come over from AEW, they have the AEW mentality, and good or bad, whatever it is, it's their way of doing things. So they have to get accustomed to this WWE way. You can't just throw them in the main roster. I don't think.
I actually agree. I think he should. Yeah,
I agree. I thought for sure he was going to help Ricky win the ladder match on Tuesday, and he didn't, and that's fine. Now, if he's like, let's just say he's not going to do NXT, like just for the sake of argument, what they could do is have him do that, like something, whether it's with Trick or Jericho or whoever. He's somebody's heavy, so he's on the main roster and maybe interfering in matches, hitting big moves, maybe a tag match here or there, and then put him on that NXT house circuit. You know what I mean? Like where they're doing those shows where he can wrestle on those and get some experience at that. Kind of like what Dom was doing when he was North American champion from NXT, where he was on NXT and on the main roster. I'm not saying you got to put Royce on NXT proper on the television show, but just get him some work in the ring for there. That I could see them doing that, but I firmly believe NXT doesn't have to be there for long, like 6 months, a year. What if he knocks it out in 3? If he has like an awesome 90 days and he's ready to go up, great, but I'm kind of with you, George, on that. We've said it plenty of times where you got to wash the stank off of them. Like with AEW, it's why Jade took longer to figure it out. Like she looks great now, but it took 6 to 8 months, if not longer, because they brought her straight up to the main roster. So I wonder if they're not going to do it. There's a way. There's ways to at least help him get better, not all on TV.
I've always wondered if there's what the decision process making within WWE is as to who goes to NXT and who goes to WWE. Like, is it the talent? Is it is it the producers? And I do wonder if the people they bring to the main roster straight away are the ones that they feel that are marketable. So you look at like Jade Cargill, looks like $1 million. They wanted to market her straight away. You look at Penta selling the masks and things like that. He went straight to the main roster. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if it's similar with Royce Keys, just because he's got a really good look. He's a big dude. He's somebody they can market quite well. And I wonder if it's more of like because they're all about money, aren't they, TK? Yeah, that's what it's about.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wonder if it's a marketing thing where they can just, because, he's a really marketable guy. He's got a great look. He's big. He can, he could be on front cover of, Muscle and Fitness or whatever. Like he's got a really kind of marketable look about him. So I wonder if that's part of the decision.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
If I remember correctly, he wasn't exactly like the best in the ring wrestling in AEW. Like he needs some, like Jake said, he needs some work. It's my only problem. My only issue with this whole thing is I don't want him thrown into the main roster and have him going against somebody for Trick, let's say in case we were talking about, and then having it not look good. I think he needs that time. 100%. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, no, and
I agree. I think it should happen.
Right. And that's the thing is I definitely agree with you. I 100%. I've said that from the beginning. I wish we were on the Royal Rumble stream when he came out, and I was legitimately shocked. I had probably said less than 10 minutes before, there's no chance he's coming out tonight. He's going to debut on NXT. Oh shit, I was wrong. But it happens, and that's fine. That's the fun of wrestling. That's what I like it when we make predictions and you can be wrong about stuff. Like that's why we enjoy what we're watching. But if they are going to go this route with him, I hope, since there aren't regular house shows anymore, put him on the NXT stuff or do something with it. Because also too, you're talking about like there's the star power and the look, but he's also got that like story and how like the community outreach stuff. I think he'd be great with that. He was already doing that with AEW. Cody's big in that. I don't know if you guys watched the vlog that was on YouTube from his debut. It's like a 5-minute video on WWE's YouTube channel, but you can see how excited he is. And like Cody comes up and gives him a hug, and he's friends with Punk too. So there are people that can help him if he needs it. If they're not going to go to NXT, because we also always forget he's like 34, 35. He's older than we think. I feel like he's not like, I know Ricky Saints is like 30, 31, but so
AEW had that story the whole time to make this guy the best babyface possible. And
they mentioned it a few different times. Like you thought like they were going to.
Right off.
It's the same shit they did with Pillman. Like when the Dark Side of the Ring 2 parts came out, and then they had Pillman do that thing with MJF, and there was like this moment and then nothing. Like, it's right there in front of you. Like, same with Mark Briscoe when Jay passed away. Like, it's right there, and you don't like. It's like they throw you a slider, it doesn't slide. You just keep the bat on your shoulder. You know, it's like I'm not gonna. It's just
they're gonna
open net.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna mention Hobbs' story whenever they break.
Absolutely,
there'll be some good vignettes ahead of time. I would think.
Yeah,
WWE.
And you could even use it to where if you want to have him as a heel, make it so that's his villain origin story, and then he can turn babyface later. Or if you want to have it as a babyface so people fall in love, it's right there. And there's no way they're not going to use that. That's one. I think that might be one of the reasons why they're bringing him up as starting with him up there, is because they don't want to waste that story in NXT. They want everybody to see it. But
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. I'm very curious where he shows up next. I would kind of surprised that he didn't show up on Raw, SmackDown, or NXT this past week.
I was as well.
I was expecting to show up somewhere. Yeah.
I think that if we take the example of, let's say he's paired with Trick Williams, then you've got the kind of tried and tested storyline of, you know, they're together and then Trick's the bad guy and eventually the heavy turns on the guy. You know, like they tried to do with MJF and Wardlow. And they've done it countless times, haven't they?
I was just gonna say, and another one that AEW fumbled. They had it right there. MJF or Wardlow defeats MJF, and you've got this great story. And he did the thing with the lawyer and the security guards that nobody cared about.
I don't know what it is. Like it just seems to me in AEW that big guys don't really do well over there on the whole. It's like big guys are more of a WWE thing, and then you know, AEW's like pushes like the smaller type of guys. So
Tony and Vince are like negatives of each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Tony books little guys like Vince booked big guys. It's the same, and you just can't get past that. And Vince could never get past that. And that's why we had people like Kali, or what was the Russian guy's name, that just they look big, throw them out there. Kozlov, like throw them out there, it'd be great. And it's like they're not ready yet. Nope. And Tony does that. I was like, oh, we got Hologram, we got Bandito, we got Close, throw them out there. It's the same idea, just different spaces.
He's got a chance with he's got a chance with Brody King at the moment.
God, yes.
And Brody King's Brody King's great. Like, I think he's been main event ready for a long time. And you know, he beat MJF last week. So let's see how he does with Brody King from a booking perspective and see if he can actually, you know, go full on with a big guy. No, you're right. It's right there for him. And I feel like they've been trying with some of it, because we've seen they've done like vignettes where they talked about his music and other things about, like, they're letting us get to know him finally after 5 years or whatever. Like, this is good, but
he won the eliminator match, which is never a good thing.
In 3 minutes as well.
But that was dumb to do that. Like, they should have just had him, MJF picks somebody and he beats them handily, where it's more he beats them as opposed to having Hangman help him. But it was all set up.
I mean, I would have had MJF get himself disqualified in fear.
Yes.
Or something like that. Like, you know, like realize he can't beat him and then get himself disqualified just to get out of there. Or like,
would have been the best way to do it.
Yeah. But you know, is that the title match for Grand Slam now, or is that Revolution? I'm lost on where they're going in terms of when that match is happening, or if they not.
I don't know.
They've got like a mini tournament going on, I think.
They speed things up so quick. Like, they brought in Ciampa, and then Ciampa ended up winning the title on a Saturday, which no one saw. It's a weird concept. They have the idea there, and then they just rush through it.
I was glad he won, though, because I was worried he'd get the Josh Alexander treatment where he loses his first match. So I'm glad he got, something out of that. I think Ciampa will do fine in AEW.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I have no problem with that. Oh, we lost Jake for a moment.
Oh, we lost Jake. Oh, okay.
We'll continue on. So we talked about Trick.
Yeah,
obviously we like that. Anything else on SmackDown or Raw that's really got your attention? And then we're gonna get into something that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, SmackDown for me, I think, has been up and down this year so far. I thought the first couple of episodes were really good. I thought the episode where Drew won the title was really good. And I do think there is kind of an issue with the 3-hour format when it comes to roster depth. And I do like what's still going on with Drew. I like the fact that he just kept trying to cut a promo all night and he kept getting attacked by everybody.
That was funny.
Couldn't get a moment's peace. I'm not a massive Cody guy, but I did enjoy his promo. I like when Cody is kind of just, you know, raw and aggressive, and he has a bit of fun with it, and he's not just a, you know, presidential candidate Cody Rhodes.
Angry Cody's a great Cody.
Yeah, and I actually thought the best part of the entire night was Carmelo Hayes and The Miz. I thought the match was awesome. And you don't really say that about The Miz very often in 2025.
No, it caught my attention because I was wondering. I thought it was somebody else in the ring.
Yeah. Miz gets a lot of hate, but I respect The Miz for what he went through with all the hazing and stuff, and for him to kind of stick it out and be there, hardly ever be injured, 2-time
Miz
Grand
is a
Slam
pro,
champion.
man.
Yeah,
Miz
he's the ultimate guy. Yeah.
Well, and just remember the Snoop Dogg Shane leg thing. Like the fact that he made that happen. Like Shane blows his quad. Like he would always prepared for that. The fact that he made that work, amazing.
Right, that moment, right? Me and my friends came over. We watched that WrestleMania live, and the collective, because we loved WrestleMania up until that point, and the collective groan when Shane came out, and then it just flipped on its head to utter like hilarity when he popped his quads.
Probably my favorite call in the history of wrestling is Michael Cole. Shane still got it, and Corey Graves. Nope. That nope from Corey Graves is the funniest thing I have ever heard. Because that's why I say comedy is 90% timing and delivery. It's 10% what you say. And just that nope. Just because it's Shane. He leaps and then crumbles like he was shot.
So honestly, the bit that I lost it at was when he tried to get up and fell over again.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
He never felt like his dad more.
Yeah, we shouldn't laugh at injuries, but it's Shane McMahon. Who cares?
Right? Like he's got the money to be able to afford the best physical therapy possible. Like if it happened to one of the three of us, okay, that'd feel bad for us. We're gonna have our road to recovery is gonna suck. Shane can have a driver; he'll be fine. You ever felt like his dad more in that moment than when you tried to stand up and just nope, we're done. Down I go.
I just love that the two of the funniest moments from Vince and Shane both involve the same injury.
The same injury.
Yeah.
Dad's was much better though. The double quad blow.
Oh, the double quad.
I was gonna say Vince
in the ring.
Vince had to go one better. You blow one, I blew both, son. Oh my God. And then just sitting there trying to look mad and have his hand on his hips. That's one of my all-time favorite moments.
Oh, what a mess! God. What a mess that ending. Because when we kind of come up to the Rumble, I always watch like every single Rumble, like throughout January to kind of just refresh my memory on some of the stuff that's happened, and most of them are pretty terrible, but there are some golden moments, and that is definitely one of them. 2005.
It's one of those things about nostalgia where you go back and you look and you think of like, oh, I remember all these great moments from certain Rumbles, like the one, what is it, like is it 2002 or 3, the one in the maybe until like when they're in the Madison Square Garden with like Piper and Snuka and stuff, like those
2000.
Those segments are terrible. Like when you see them, but when you watch the highlights of it, they're quick and you only see like the good stuff of it. So the nostalgia gives you those rose-colored glasses. Because some of those moments in Manias in Rumbles have been rough.
I think the worst part of that for me is I do watch them all no matter how bad they are, and I get to that stretch of like 2011 to like 2016. Oh God, where it's just like great Khali's in every single one, and it's like the 5th time Michael Cole says, how are they going to get him over the top rope? I don't know. Watch the previous 4 and find out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That only works twice. Yeah.
So you were finishing up on your critique of SmackDown?
Yeah.
Was that?
SmackDown I thought was okay this week. I do think
the 3-hour thing is getting tough.
Yeah, and the women's division is.
We're going to get there in a minute.
So depleted, and it's not that it's bad, it's just there's not enough people there to have, and you're basically operating 3 divisions. You've got the main event scene, the mid-card scene, and you've got the tag scene, and there is just not enough women to populate all 3 of those, let alone 2 of them. And I think that's why Jade hasn't defended her title in 4 months since winning it. And her first title defense, she won it, when did she win it? Like Crown Jewel,
I think, and
that was October, and her first defense is next week. Wow. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, when you say it out loud, it is nuts.
yeah, that is crazy. And I think like Julia, like she's the US champion. She's basically competing in the tag division. Like, what are we doing?
No, basically she was in.
Yeah,
and like Kiana's trying to do like she's gonna be a triple champion because we're gonna win these ones, and then she's gonna win the elimination chamber. It's like that's a lot on one person, dude. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, before we get into this little topic that we're gonna sidebar off into.
Yep.
What do you critique of Raw real quick? Not altogether Raw, what you've been seeing lately, then we'll get into what we want to talk about with this.
Yeah, Raw I think's been a bit more consistent, but I think it's been a bit consistently just okay. I really enjoyed the Punk and Roman segment last week, and I think that kind of vindicated people who said that Roman winning was the right choice, because you know, with all due respect to people like LA Knight, I could not imagine LA Knight being in Roman's position on Raw and it being as effective. So I think Roman and Punk's instantly sets up a huge match. But yeah, Raw on the whole, it's been all right. It's, you know, I'm still waiting for something to grab me, which it did on Monday, and I'm kind of looking for more of that as we go into Mania season.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's kind of typical too, where you kind of, the end of the year and the holidays, you kind of just get through it, and then there wasn't as much Rumble build to it this year because they knew what they were going to be doing they were going to have the Rumble and go forward from there. I feel like they're setting up well. They're already doing the Elimination Chamber matches to set that up, and Liv hasn't made her choice yet either with that. So there are some good storylines and stuff coming up that should be exciting.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious on the women's side because I honestly thought Raquel was beating Stephanie, and they were going to
so did we.
Raquel,
I'm a big Stephanie fan, and I was still like, yeah, Raquel should win this. Like,
I kind of would have preferred that actually, but
it would have made sense. I mean, here's the thing, like, yes, I am a fan of certain talent. There's people that I really love. Like, I'm a giant, massive Cody fan because of the dad stuff. But I was always saying Drew has to win in Germany. He has to, or Drew is dead.
Oh, yeah.
And he had to win. And he's been great with the title. It's been great. And I like what they're doing still with the Cody and Drew stuff. But just yet, like, that's why I love Stephanie. But I thought Raquel should have won there to make that more. And maybe they'll still have something else happen with it. But I don't know where Liv goes with it at this point.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, you're right though. That ending segment on Raw really did.
Yeah.
If you didn't feel like you were on the road to WrestleMania before, like that segment was like, all right, boys, here we go. Let's rock and roll. Like that.
It went from 0 to 100
real quick. Yeah, and they were smart too, where they had that full video on YouTube and on X within an hour of it ending. Like, make that go viral, get people to want to watch, and I'm sure they will move forward. I heard Smackdown got a big rating too this past week, so I think people are starting to tune in.
Yeah,
it's that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Jake and I on our show have been mostly me. Jake's been agreeing with me. We've been of the opinion that what's the count? I just lost my train of thought.
Rhea and Io.
Rhea and Io should be separated. Not even making one a heel or a baby face. Just get them away from each other, because when you see the intros, Io Sky gets a massive reaction, and then Rhea gets an ultra massive reaction.
Yeah.
Why they're together, I'm puzzled by this. I don't like it. I think the women's division in SmackDown is suffering because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw yesterday, Zeus tweeted out something on that, and the response, someone called him a dork. 2026, he was called a dork.
My feelings are so hurt, man.
But if you like to explain what you said and how I'm,
yeah. So it kind of for me, it's kind of broader than just Rhea and Io, but obviously they are the champions. So I'm not a fan of the women's tag team division in general, because I think that, you know, if you have like I said just before, the main event scene, the two mid-card scenes, and a women's tag team division, I think what they're doing is they're diluting all three. And I can see why they're doing it with Rhea and Io, because people complain that they're always in the title picture. So it's like, okay, let's have them doing something different. So I get that. But when you look at Julia, and, you know, outside of a great Becky Lynch run with the IC title, look at that championship. Stephanie's title run hasn't really been that interesting until Raquel got involved, and Jade hasn't defended her title in 4 months. And I think if you were to get rid of the women's tag team titles and flood the two divisions above it with Rhea, Io, Charlotte, Alexa, you know, Liv, Roxanne, etc., like anyone who's thinking of being in a women's tag team, then you've basically just got, instead of three really kind of, you know, thin divisions, you've got two stronger ones that probably still need some help from NXT, especially in the mid card. You know, you could throw like Sol Ruker in there, you could throw Jada Parker in there, etc. But I don't know what this obsession is with the women's tag team titles. And I get that Rhea and Io probably sell a absolute metric ton of merch because they're, you know, two of the most popular women's wrestlers in the entire industry. And obviously what's going to happen is they're going to break up, they're going to feud, and Rhea's finally going to get her win back over Io for the first time. And I think when that happens, I would like to just see just the other divisions focused on, or even if you're going to have just the main event scene and the tag division, then whatever. But I think having all three with the lack of talent at their disposal at the moment. It just makes people like Julia look bad because her first run was terrible with the US title. Her second one is not that much better. She's already competing for tag
She's
titles.
great too.
She is great, yeah. And Kiana's great as well. I think Kiana's done a good job at being the voice that Julia needs. And the IC title, I don't know who the IC is. It still Becky Lynch? It's still Becky Lynch, isn't it?
Yes.
But ever since Becky Lynch's feud with Lyra, that's kind of gone a bit cold as well, because I do like the Maxine thing, but you know, you look at who is going to be Becky's challenger. You think AJ Lee, okay. But, you know, if AJ Lee wins the title, who's she going to face? Because most of the women are tied up in the tag division or the main event. So I think there's a bit of an issue with just filling the divisions, and optics are everything. Perception is everything. So if people watch and they see Julia being boring and not doing anything, and they don't know who she is, that's how they're going to see her. And that's why she doesn't get any reactions in live events. And I think it's a problem. And I don't know if they are going to change it, but I personally would prefer just to see, you know, the main event and mid cards. I don't think we need a women's tag team division, and the men's tag team division isn't that much better at the moment either.
Yeah, tag teams are rough right now.
Yeah,
it has been for a while.
Yeah, it's almost like with the men's, it's almost like they need to like revert it to where they are with the women's, where there's just one tag belts and move those. And I understand, like, I know if there's some people who like that want to go back to what it was with the original brand split, where there was, you know, the champions could go between both shows. That's never going to happen until Netflix has everything in the US. Like, that's just like, and we need to accept that this is about making money. USA Network wants their own world champion, and so does Netflix. Okay, fine. I don't think we need both with having the tag team champions, but like, you know what I mean? I think that can float. If you want to have a mid-card title on each show, okay, I get that too. But I think there needs to be some kind of break, because you nailed it. Everything just kind of gets a little bit diluted when there's this much out there. It's the same problem that you see in AEW, where who's got what belt. Like when on Dynamite on Wednesday, when Hangman's like, I'm going to pack this belt and go to Australia. I'm like, which belt? What? Oh, he's got one of the trios belts. I forgot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not good for anybody with it.
It's not special anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't give that bite into. And again, we totally get why, like, teaming Rhea and Io up for a bit of time did make a lot of sense, because neither of them had a lot, but they need to break it up. But I'm not even sure if they're going to feud yet. It almost might be like an amicable split, because they're both just so damn over as baby faces. Yeah. I mean, if you want to have that match at Mania, do it, but I don't know if that's this year or not. I'm not sure.
Did you ever sound up last night when these two got introduced?
Rhea and Io?
Yes.
It
was crazy.
Yeah, and you nailed it too. The Io gets a giant, massive pop, and then Rhea tops it. You don't think that it could be top, because Io gets a massive react. It's crazy how they're both still supremely over as individuals with the team.
I think what we get this year is the split tag team feud we're going to get this year is Charlotte and Alexa, and then we're going to get Rhea and Io versus the Bellas, unfortunately. So that I think that's probably where we're going, and
I can see the Bellas winning.
Well,
potentially, yeah.
I think the Bellas should win the tag titles at WrestleMania, just not over Rhea and Io.
That would be a travesty, wouldn't it?
Right? Yeah, no, because I think Mike Glass said it in our chat last week about the Bellas. Like, Nikki on her own was fine, but once Brie is back, they're better as a duo. They've never won the tag titles. They deserve it. Having it at a Mania is great, especially like Vegas. That's not that far from Scottsdale, Arizona, where they're from. But do they need to beat Rhea and Io? I don't think so.
They're going to be massive heels. They're going to be massive
right. I don't know how you get the titles off of that. Maybe it's Lash and Nia. Maybe Lash and Nia steal them at some point, and then the Bellas can beat them. I don't know. I don't know how you book this.
I think the only way to them to lose the title is just dissension, so it kind of protects them both. So I don't think they get beat clean. I think they get beat.
Oh, it'll be a completely steal. I would think it would be like either Lash and Nia, and then like also Julie and Kiana help, or they lose it to Julie and Kiana because of Lash and Nia. Like, it's going to take 2 or 3 teams to beat them. Or maybe there's like a triple threat tag situation and somebody pins somebody else, because they can't lose clean. They can't look weak in any way of it.
They just argue with each other.
Come off of them.
They just argue with each other, miscommunication, and
maybe I just feel like if they do that, there's going to be one of them's going to be kind of a heel, and I just don't see that happening.
That's the other thing,
right?
That's the other thing.
Baby face.
You can't turn either.
No, people love them, and as well they should. It's an odd situation of where it's going, and I mean, I know they've got like 9 weeks till Mania to figure it out, but that 9 weeks will be 3 weeks real fast.
Yeah, and it's like you've got this
Go ahead,
massive.
Zeus, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. You've got this like massive thing with Rhea and Io. It's really popular. It's making a load of money, and then you're thinking, "Shit, now what?
Yeah.
Right.
What do we do? What do we do? How do we go about this?"
That's what I thought of last night when I saw this. I'm like, usually when you see a tag team this popular, you can see one or the other. You can picture it in your head, like one turning on the other. You can just imagine it. You can book it. It's easy.
Yeah.
Here, I was like thinking about it going, no, you really can't turn anybody heel because there are dollar signs written all over these young ladies.
No, that's when we've been talking about George, because George has been on this for a while, and I agree with him 100%. I just don't. I agree on that it should, but then we get to the how, and I'm like, I have no fucking idea. Like I agree it needs to happen. How we get there? Oh God, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fantasy booker. I got no idea on this one.
They need to be careful, don't they? Because we've seen it happen where things can go on too long. They become boring. Like Liv versus Rhea went on way too long. And that was good to start. I know there was an injury involved and stuff, but shit happens. And the longer it goes on, the more people aren't going to care when it does happen. So they need to be very careful with the timing, and they need to kind of maximize your money, get all the money you can, but then you need to make a change at the right time where people are going to care about it. Because I don't want to get to the stage where it happens and I think, well, this should have happened 6 months ago, and now I don't care.
Yeah,
right? Exactly.
Or one of these two ladies get hurt, and it turns into a Bianca Belair situation where you don't see her for 6 to 9 months.
Oh, that's crazy, Bianca's situation. Like,
I kind of worked my way into it. Like that. That was pretty good.
That was good.
That was a good segue. I like that.
Smooth.
Everyone
I told you this. We're getting better at this.
Yeah, everyone kind of expected her to come back at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And she did not.
Nope.
So what'd you think about that?
My first thought was she's been quite outspoken about wanting to start a family and whether it's kind of too late and things like that. And I wonder if that's still in her mind because she doesn't have any kids at the moment, and I don't know how old Bianca is. What is she, like early to mid 30s?
That's my guess. I'm literally Wikipediaing this as you go. You're good. Keep going.
Because I don't watch reality TV, but my partner likes to watch. So she watched that Bianca and Montez one.
Oh, she's 36.
36.
She'll be 37 in April. I didn't think she was that old. Damn.
So it may be in her mind that the clock is ticking as far as starting a family. So, and I get that, you would think that, what was it? A broken finger keeping you out of action for almost 12 months is crazy to think about. So you have to think of, I know that she didn't take surgery and that might have had a negative effect. And there could be like multiple infections and things like that. But it's crazy that she's been gone so long. Like, people have had ACLs and come back since she's been off TV, which is like a really, notoriously bad injury. Yeah. So I don't know what to make of it, honestly.
I think it was something with the connection of like the finger to the wrist. I remember the wrist being involved too, and something with it. Like I don't know. I'm not a doctor and don't try to be one, so I don't know. But I definitely thought that earlier at one point too, of that maybe they were trying to start a family, and because she is a little older, maybe it's one of those things, kind of like with Brandy's second kid. Like nobody knew Brandy Rhodes was pregnant until she had the baby. And I feel like that's because she's like, I think she's either is 40 or just about 40. Like, so there's the chance of it not being a healthy pregnancy. So instead of, telling everybody, getting people excited and having to deal with it, so I could see that being it where they just haven't told people yet. And
potentially, yeah. But she is sorely missed. I mean, she is so, obviously this.
Absolutely.
And this Jade feud is just sat there at the table waiting for Bianca. And I just think they've got nothing for Jade without Bianca at the moment.
Well, if you remember, Bianca went out with the injury. Okay, her finger was injured, and she said she would not have surgery. She would do it the natural way.
Yeah.
And then we got a report like 6-7 months later that she was going to get the surgery.
Right, the natural way didn't work. Yeah.
So you took 6 months of trying to do it physical therapy wise.
Yeah.
And you had the surgery on top of it. And as someone that's had wrist surgery, there's a lot of stuff that goes in. A lot of things happen, and you're not recovering that fast. So it's just, I think it's more like Jake said, the wrist nerve thing.
Yeah, probably. The nerve thing. Yeah, because she hasn't been seen since she was the referee at Evolution. That was
long
July.
time.
That was July.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Lord. Right?
Is that the last time we saw her?
That's from what I can see of it. I was trying to look at the last time she was out. Yeah, because she returned from injury at Evolution for the guest referee between Jade Cargill and Naomi, and there's nothing else after that I can see. So, you're right. I was shocked by that. I thought I was thinking, I think in October, November, maybe. No, July.
Yeah, I came back quicker from my ACL surgery.
Man. Yeah, there's more to this story than we know for sure,
Well,
whether it's the wrist or
whatever's going
pregnancy.
on,
Yeah.
we wish her well, whatever.
That was what I was just
we want to
yeah.
see we want to see her back soon.
But that's also definitely why, like, when you were talking about with Jade about she hasn't defended the title in X amount of time, like, well, there's the reason why, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, because that was definitely that storyline would have progressed for sure. But it's just, that's
so that brings up the question: who does Liv Morgan pick? Because Liv Morgan is one of the most popular women on the roster today.
Yeah.
Who does she go after, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I mean, it's very difficult. I think a lot of it does hinge on whether Bianca comes back or not. I'm going to guess right now. I think it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer.
What if Raquel wins a title in the meantime?
Well, then I would prefer Liv and Raquel, because I think that, you know, whatever happens at Mania, I think we do need to start thinking about the end of the Judgment Day as we know it. And I love the Judgment Day. I think they've done incredibly well to be as relevant as they have for such a long period of time. Everyone who's joined the Judgment Day has come out better from it. You know, JD McDonough, Damian Priest, Roxanne Perez is doing well, Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio. They've all elevated themselves being in the Judgment Day. But I think it's time for something different. And it's been has it been 3.5 years now? Is it 2022 when the Judgment Day started?
I think so, because I mean, it was Edge.
Edge
doing that.
And it's been crazy. I think that, you know, for a faction to go on that long and still be relevant and on TV every week, it's been great. But I think it's time to end the Judgment Day, and Raquel and Liv is the kind of secret sauce to that for me. And then obviously Finn Balor and Dom are going to have their own thing, and, you know, where Roxanne fits into that. So yeah, I would like to see something with Liv and Raquel at Mania, whether they kind of switch it up at the Chamber and maybe do a rematch or something. But I think Liv will go after the Raw Championship.
That makes sense. Right. Yeah, April 2022 is when the Judgment Day
April
started.
2022, almost 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many factions last that long these days?
Right. And how many times have we talked about that? Like, oh, well, they're wrapping it up or it's going to end here. And then they just reinvent themselves. So maybe that still happens. Like,
so here's some
you can still have some changes and then there still goes through. Yeah. What's up?
I don't think even the Bloodline lasted that long.
No.
Yeah.
Like, they did not last 4 years. I think they was it August 2020 when Roman came back during lockdown, and then it ended obviously properly at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to say like Solo trying to keep it going for a bit until they got rid of Heyman, you could, but even that still wasn't that long with it.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy that it was that long. And yeah, I think Edge started it, and then that was when Dominic was still the baby face, and they turned him. They turned him that summer. That was the summer they turned him. God, that's crazy.
Long time ago, but yeah,
I haven't thought about it since you guys just put it out there. Now I'm kind of spinning.
Yeah, it's just but that shows the power of it though, and how well they have done to be able to keep it working and making sense. And I mean, there's been serious amounts of time where they've been like what's carried Raw, like they were what drove Raw from the beginning to the end for a long time. So that's cool.
Yeah, those Judgment Day main events from 2024. I remember those.
And it does seem like they're definitely, I mean, obviously with Finn doing like the video package thing that he was doing and stuff with Punk. And then, you know, it seemed like Raquel was going to turn face before she then attacked Stephanie with it. So there's a lot going on with it. But I think the same. I think Liv is going to challenge for the world title, whether that's because it's on Stephanie or Raquel. I just don't think she's going to take on Jade. And I don't think Jade's going to lose it. I don't think she's
that would be a bad match.
Yeah, that right. Yeah, that'd be exactly.
And it was at Crown Jewel, wasn't it? I think they did it at Crown Jewel. Did they? No, they fought. They fought before, haven't they?
I think so. I think they did. Yeah, I think the Crown Jewel title. I'm not 100% sure though.
Oh, was that Tiffany Jade? I can't remember.
It's hard to remember on that. Let's see. Let me see if Livin.
So that's something though, because Jade needs a challenger that can actually guide her. Even though she's been there for so long now, she still needs a guide in the ring, I think.
Yeah, and I think Jordan Grace will be fine, but I think, you know, Jordan Grace, she's been on NXT for a long time. She's a great worker. She's experienced.
Yeah, she's getting there perfectly.
Fine. Yeah. But yeah, I think at Mania, like Jade's going to need, Bianca. She needs Bianca because Bianca's probably the best in the business in ring, along with Io Sky. So, but yeah, you raise a good question that if we go with Liv facing whoever's on Raw and Bianca's not back, and she's facing Jade next week, then it really all comes down to whoever wins the chamber. And I am struggling for names.
God.
From a story perspective, I am really struggling for names because Naomi's not going to be back.
Right. That'd be something, yeah. Right, Naomi and Bianca came back around the same time. That'd be something.
Yeah. But from a story perspective, if it's not Bianca, I honestly don't know who Jade faces. And whoever it is, it's just not going to be as good.
Right, that's the problem, and I kind of almost feel like maybe Bianca is like close to being cleared, or they're trying to. And I think that might be why they're pushing this and holding this off, and maybe why they had Roman make his selection the show after the Rumble. I didn't think there was any chance we were getting Roman to make his decision for at least a couple of weeks, but maybe they had him do that because they're trying to delay this one. It's kind of like the Money in the Bank where one of the two winners cashes in the same night or within a couple of days, and then the other one gets to hold it for a while and have fun with it. Because
do you remember how many women's Money in the Bank cash-ins were on the same night?
Wasn't it the first?
It's like half of them.
For a point, it was like almost all of them. There was a point where it was like everybody except for I think until what was it? Carmella. I think she was the first one not to. Because it's hard. You can't having both of them out there. It's too much of a thing of it. Although. As someone who has witnessed the cash in live, I was there when Tiffany cashed in last year.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome. It's fantastic.
That was a great cash in. I think we've had some good cash ins recently. I think Naomi's was great. Tiffany's was really good. Damian Priest was great. We've had some good cash ins recently.
For sure.
Seth was really good as well.
Yeah, they do very well at setting those up nicely. I would agree with all those choices.
It was a lot of fun. And that's where, I feel like Triple H, there's certain things that he's trying to get away from. And I feel like there's a part of him that doesn't like to have to worry about the Money in the Bank and the cash-ins and how but you can't get rid of it. It's too good of a moneymaker. How many of those briefcases do they sell every year?
I know. I think the concept is played out, to be honest. And
but you're kind of stuck with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And this year's going to be interesting because this year Money in the Bank is after SummerSlam. Because Money in the Bank's in like September this year.
Wow.
And I think that's good. And people complained like, oh, why isn't it in? Or who cares when it is?
Right.
And I think that it gets rid of the predictability of somebody cashing in at SummerSlam because you always have that in the back of your mind. You have the Money in the Bank in July and then SummerSlam's the next month. You automatically think, oh, there's going to be a cash in, whether there is or isn't. Whereas this time, Money in the Bank's in September. So
September 6th. Wow.
Who knows? You could have the world champion sat ringside at the Rumble and cashed in at the Rumble, something crazy like that. So I think it'll be good, like shaking it up in that respect. Money in the Bank this year. But yeah, it is crazy to think about this. It's going to be like end of September.
Yeah, no, but September 6th.
Beginning. Okay, yeah.
Actually, that makes sense too because I'm pretty sure Labor Day is the next because on a Sunday. Like that's weird, but I think
cool.
The next day for it. But no, you're right because like last year it was June. It's 2025. It was June. The year before it was July. Yeah, no, it's always been summer. That's crazy. I didn't realize it was. I just assumed it was June or July this year. Interesting. That'll be fun.
It's a good idea though.
Yeah. Well, and then if somebody doesn't want to cash in, or I mean, they can go through Mania without cashing in because it's for a year. Maybe they could cash it in at the next SummerSlam. There's options. I did not realize.
Yeah, I think the problem is there's only so many things you can do with a Money run, and it's like trying to keep it fresh twice every year, and it's there's only so much you can do. So I'm trying to think of have we seen everything we can with the Money in the Bank briefcase and. I think it's only a matter of time before you get to that stage where I think a lot of people already are kind of tiring of the concept in itself.
Right.
But I guess we'll see. Well, I guess we'll see if they can get really creative with it. But yeah, like you say, it's not going anywhere. So it's a staple of the calendar now, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. This one's the 17th annual, it says. Like, yeah, exactly. I thought maybe like 12, but it has been forever. Well, I mean, Jared, that's been forever.
I always thought that it would be a really good opportunity to put it back to WrestleMania and have the men's on the Saturday and the women's on the Sunday. If you've got a 2-night WrestleMania, you can have two Money in the Bank matches. But I guess they like the branding of the pay-per-view, don't they? Like it's
like the money of the pay-per-view.
Well,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's one of those things where you can kind of similar to the Rumble or even like knowing there's going to be War Games. The match sells itself. Like you don't need to know who's in it before you can just be excited to go. Because I went, it was here. I want to say it was 2015 14 or 15 Money in the Bank was here in Phoenix. And yeah, I bought tickets whenever they wanted to just like, screw it. That'll be fun. I've never been to a Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Like, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
You know, that's
Hey,
crazy.
before we jump into my next topic that I have listed, Jake, you want to run through some plugs and tell people to hit the like?
Absolutely.
I have to use the bathroom real quick.
By all means, yes. Please make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment during the live show, and then after as well. Once the video is posted, those comments really seem to help the algorithm, and that's really important to us. But the biggest thing we're looking for now at the AltJakeTakesOn YouTube channel, subscribers. Send it to your friends. You know, let people know, even if they're not big fans. You know, like, subscribe. We're so close to 500. We can like smell it. We're just around like 40 away. But yeah, we do normally we're on Sundays at 8:05 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Obviously, we came early today to avoid the Super Bowl. We'll be back next Sunday, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, for our Roundtable Discussion Show. You can also catch me every Tuesday on Toonie Talk Wrestling at 8 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ToonWrestling. Myself, Dis, and Awful Wrestling for sure. And we're starting to bring in some more as well. We're going to be the three that are always on there, and then we'll rotate some folks in and out as well. And then every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do our AEW Dynamite live review, where George and I take notes and watch every single segment. I fast forward through nothing on Dynamite, even though there's times I want to. We watch it so you guys don't have to. Well, we take that burden and let you know all the little details, the small things, the big stories, and whatever else goes on. Sometimes I do mute it. I can't listen to the commentary when it's just Excalibur and Shivani.
Yeah,
when Taz is there, it helps us out a bit. But yeah, those are our main three. We also do a recorded podcast every week. We usually get it out Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, depending on when we can. You know, we both have jobs, so there's stuff to do. We make it work. But yeah, the biggest thing we're looking for is more subscribers, more interaction, share, like, all that good stuff. And then, yeah, no, I think that's everything I needed to plug here at this point.
Yeah.
Zeus, you got anything you want to plug, my friend?
No, just my YouTube channel's in the description. If you like 2K wrestling with cartoons and comic book characters in universe mode, then that's the place for you. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter with my tag at the bottom. We do regular spaces where we talk all things wrestling. Always great discussions. So if you want to jump in a space, just feel free. Everyone's welcome.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. I enjoy being there.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
Now, since we've talked about WWE, let us jump over to the other side of the fence. Zeus, your opinions on what is happening currently in AEW, what you like, what you don't like, if you like anything at all. I'm sure you'd like something, because we do.
So I think with AEW, I used to watch all the time. I don't watch as much these days, just because work's really been picking up on me recently, so I don't really have the time, especially if it's like, so late. So I try to keep up with it. What do I like about AEW? I agree with you guys. I do not like the commentary. I do not like Shivani and Excalibur.
Yeah, they're rough.
Yeah, I liked Ian Riccaboni when he was on. And I like Taz. But in terms of what I like MJF. I've always liked MJF. I think he's great. I did like Hangman. Hangman was always a favorite of mine, especially during like the Swerve Strickland feud. I thought that was really good. But Hangman, kind of at the moment, I understand he's kind of in the trios division, kind of, coming fresh off one of the biggest title wins in company history, so to speak. And yeah, I think in terms of where I am with AEW, it's not that I don't hate the company at all. I'm not like that. But I do appreciate what they're trying to do with Brody King. I think it's been long overdue what they're trying to do with Brody King. But yeah, outside of that,
it's tough, isn't it?
It's just tough. Yeah, it's tough. I think there's too much going on.
That's the problem.
And there's so many titles, and I also I only keep up with this in clips. But I think the whole Tony Storm thing is close to running its course. It's run.
It's run. It's ran. No, and it's there are still people that like it or want to like, because there is some endearingness to it. It's just they ran through 5 years of storyline in less than 2. Like, they just burnt through everything, and now she's a parody of herself dressing up as Orange Cassidy. It's rough, man. Ooh.
Also, just to say, you've got my YouTube channel on the screen.
Yes.
It's called artificial intelligence wrestling because I let the AI do the fighting, just to put that out there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Cool.
So I don't do the wrestling. I just sit there and commentate and let
You're the commentary guy. I like it.
Yeah. I let AI versus AI do what it does.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
I have no control over who wins the matches, anything like that. I just commentate on what's happening.
That's good though. You're like JR. JR never wanted to know what was going on before.
Yeah,
You better be caught live.
He has no control, my ass. Come
Exactly.
Yeah, no, figure we give you a cheap plug there for it. Throw it up there while we're
Thank
talking
you very
about
much.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're all in this together, man. I know there's some channels or people that try to keep other people down or do whatever with it, but that's not what we are about here. That's same with the Toonie Talk guys. We try to have fun with it. So yeah, I'm happy to make sure we promote you as best we can, my friend.
Appreciate it. Hopefully, have more content coming out probably when the new game comes out.
Yeah, which should be soon. I mean, they announced the cover art recently. So how long did you have?
Yeah, I've pre-ordered, so I'll get it on March
Nice.
6th. Yeah.
Okay, Mark. Oh, yeah, that is real quick. Shit's gonna less than a month. Nice.
But with Toni Storm, I think she's so talented, and I think that if she was able to pull off this crazy gimmick really well, and I think that she's probably talented to do the same with something else, like just
something else.
Yeah, like she could be like the female Chris Jericho in terms of reinventing herself, and I think she could. I just don't know when they pull the trigger on that, and I think they should pretty soon.
Yeah,
it's gotten old quick for us.
The problem for me, it was last year when they did the whole like amnesia storyline and have her come back as her like original character, the rocker character, whatever. That wasn't a bad idea, but they burned through it so that she could come back as Timeless in Australia because after she's from. Okay, but that just because you wanted that moment doesn't mean you have to kill everything else. Like they ran through and made her go crazy and then come back with amnesia and go that again. That could have been 6 months to a year, and they did it in like 6 weeks, I think. Yeah. Like I said it a couple weeks ago on our AEW live review of like they should have done that going into this year's Grand Slam. Like have her like at the last year's Grand Slam start to lose her mind during that one, and then she brings it back this year, as opposed to I think she started losing her mind in like December and was back in February. Like can't.
I think they did something similar with like her feud with Mariah May going into All In. Was it 2 years ago? I thought it was really good, but I thought they kind of, like you say, they burnt through a lot of it really quickly, and they did the turn, the amazing heel turn. They did that like 6 weeks before All In, and then we had like 6 weeks left to build up, and a lot of that 6 weeks felt pretty samey, and
right.
I don't think it devalued the feud, but. It lost a little bit of steam, like heading towards All In, but I think the end result was great. But yeah, they kind of burnt through a lot of it really quickly. And, some people say that you need a long time to build a feud. Well, sometimes it can be too long. And, we had this argument with whether Bianca and Rhea would be a WrestleMania match in January last year. And they said, oh, that's not long enough. And I think, well, January to April, if you tell it correctly, is long enough.
Absolutely.
Because they don't have any prior history. So there's no point doing that. But yeah, it can be too long, if anything, January to April, depending on how the storytelling is. So yeah, I think they kind of took too long. The timing wasn't quite right in there, and that's just because when they have the Owen Hart Classic before All In, it's like 6 weeks or something.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead, George.
Oh, I was just gonna ask you, how does AEW get viewed over in Europe? Like, how do you guys watch it? Like,
yeah, I think Europe is a very wrestling centric crowd, very kind of indie-rific, if that makes sense. So they like Black and Gold is very popular. Rev Pros over here in the UK, ICW's up in Scotland where Joe Hendry first kind of hit the scene big time. So yeah, I think European, especially UK fans, love AEW over here. I would go and see it if it came over. I just don't have the time most of the time. But yeah, it's viewed quite popular over here because there's a lot more focus here on the wrestling side than the entertainment side, I would say.
That makes sense. It's on regular TV, or do you have to?
No, I think over here it airs on like a terrestrial channel like the week after, but we use Fight/Triller to watch it live.
Right, that's what it was. Fight, yeah.
Yeah, the pay-per-views are on Amazon Prime over here, so that's not a problem. And they're also like £19 over here, which is like, I don't know, $26. So it's a lot cheaper here as well.
Jeez.
I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, ours are still $50.
Yeah. So yeah, we get it on Amazon Prime over here. That's the carrier for pay-per-views. So I do keep up with the pay-per-views. I will watch them, and Revolution for the last few years has been my favorite AEW pay-per-view. So I usually watch Revolution when that rolls around. But I think that on the pay-per-view side, I know it's a divided topic, but I think they are way too long, and that might be biased because it starts at 1 and finishes at like 5:30 in the morning. Sometimes the sun comes up when an AEW show finishes. Here.
Oh my gosh!
But I wouldn't mind if he had 13 matches that were really full of heat and they meant something. That'd be fine, but they don't a lot of the time. A lot of them you think they could be like, you know, top of the hour of Collision matches kind of thing. And I get that if he's charging $50, he wants to get people their money's worth. I understand that, but for me, like whenever I watch a pay-per-view, I think 5 of those matches were really good, but another 5 I probably could have done without. And that's how
it's usually how it goes for us.
It's quality over quantity on that. I like, you know, you want it to matter. And then also too, when you're having 13 matches or even 10 matches, how many of them are going to be doing very similar stuff in it, whether it's almost the exact same spot or same style of spot, or like the same way you're trying to build something up to where, you know, it loses the law of diminishing returns. And a lot of times they're going to do stuff that's going to be in the main event that could be your big heat storylines, and they're doing it in the second match and the 5th match, and it's
if you've got a Texas death match as the main event, and I'm seeing people bleed in the second match, it's just like, you know, you need to save it, man. I don't want to see Mark Briscoe covered in blood in a singles match if I'm going to see, you know, John Moxley do some crazy shit in the main event.
Yeah, when they had the blood and guts thing, they had 2 blood and guts matches, and in the middle they had a street fight or something. It was something else too. It's like why you don't.
It's like playing 2K, isn't it? I'm gonna have an ambulance match followed by I Quit, and then a Hell in a Cell, and then finish off with a Buried Alive match.
And then next week you have my entire roster's injured, but it was so much fun. Oh, and you see that all the time too with the roster being injured, where all of a sudden after a pay-per-view, it's like, all right, who's left? What can we do? Like maybe don't have everybody on the pay-per-views.
But you can always count on Darby Allin showing up. He'll be fine. He'll jump through planes of glass. He'll be
every time. You attach him to the back of a car, light him on fire, jump off his skateboard. No, they should make it to where they don't need like a roster split, but maybe like the one pay-per-view, you've got like 6 storylines going into it, and then the other ones you're building up so that those people can recover, and then you have a stars for your next pay-per-view, because they're doing them every 4 weeks. You know, I know they haven't done, they don't do like January and February or whatever, but he's still booking his pay-per-views like they were when they were only doing 4 a year.
Yeah.
You know, when they had 4 a year, okay, overload those things, man. Those things should have 12, 14 matches and have, you know, go 5 hours, because you're only doing, you know, you're doing one in March and then you're going to do it again in July. Cool. But if you're doing it in March and then April and then May, like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're telling 3 months worth of story at pay-per-view, then it warrants having more on it. And I do miss the days when it was those 4, because I really enjoyed those.
Yeah, those were actually good. I agree.
Yeah, like All Out 21 sticks out to me. Really, really amazing show. And Revolution 23 and 24, amazing shows. Sting's retirement, I think, was 24. Is one of my favorite shows they've ever done. And then they added kind of like Dynasty and Wrestle Dream, and I can't remember what else they've added recently. They had World's End at the end of the year.
Yeah,
and they're kind of slow to. What are they up to, like 10 a year now? Is it 10 they do?
I think so.
I think so.
So Zeus, do you think they would have been better just sticking with the original 4?
I can see why they didn't, because
do you think they'd be better off now? It's my kind of like hindsight 20. I don't know.
Yeah, I maybe a middle ground, maybe like 6. Because obviously they've got a huge roster now as well. They keep signing people, so they kind of, and obviously I think a lot of it is that a lot of the talent want to be on pay-per-views as well. So it's kind of you've got to look after them as well, because they, you know, whether they kind of get pay-per-view paydays or they just want to be part of the big show. So yeah, it's a difficult one. But I still think some, you know, a lot of their shows, the pay-per-views, I'm not really a fan of. I haven't really been a fan of the weekly television for a while, but I do think the pay-per-views on the whole, you know, for me, they kind of get at least like a 6 out of 10. I don't really remember seeing like an absolutely terrible one outside of maybe a couple, like maybe last year's Dynasty and I think Double or Nothing 2023. I think was a really bad show. So yeah, I still think they're good overall. I just think there's too many of them and too much on them. Whereas WWE, I think, has the opposite problem, where there's not enough on their pay-per-views most of the time.
There's like 5 or so matches. Yeah, Dynamite's on a little bit of run here. They got another good rating for last week, so they're kind of getting. I don't know if it's the new method or whatever's going on. They're at least doing better.
They were, but the Olympics are about to knock that out, isn't it? Like,
the only good thing about the Olympics is they're in Milano, wherever the hell they are, and the main story or the main sports events are in the morning.
That's true.
So at night, you're getting a replay of what happened in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I could see helping them in the next 2 weeks.
And they're an hour ahead of us as well, I think, in Milan. So it's like an extra hour ahead that they're not going to, encroach on. So yeah, I think
I've been watching hockey. I've been watching hockey all morning.
Yeah.
And then they're going to show it again tonight. So I'll be watching the Super Bowl. So that's fine.
Right. Yeah. So there was 10 pay-per-views last year in 2025, and there was 9 in 2024. So yeah. And you could see it too. Like when they broke them down, like if you look at even 2022, there was 5 pay-per-views, but they were so spread out. There was plenty of time in between it. But if you look at 2025, it's like they had a pay-per-view on March 9th, April 6th, and then May 25th, that's a little bit more. July 12th, a little bit more. But then you're like August 24th, September 20th, October 18th. Like you're not even giving it a month in between. Like that's too much. Like one of those, they didn't need Wrestle Dream, do Forbidden Door on August 24th and do All Out like at the beginning of October and don't have Wrestle Dream and then spread it out. Cause by the time there's just, you can't get into the storylines and care about it. And then you got a 5-hour pay-per-view ahead.
They had those back-to-back ones, remember? Yeah, the one in 2 weeks. They won in London. 2 weeks later, they had another pay-per-view.
Yeah, All In, All Out.
Yeah, that was 2024. That was August 25th and September 7th. Yeah.
I actually thought they were good shows as well, but
but
you're right. It's one of those things where they've obviously done it because it's revenue, and the more pay-per-views we can sell, the more money we can get.
Sure.
But it does, and it's the same problem with WWE. I've had a problem with like the time between pay-per-views. Like the storytelling has to be quick and it has to be accurate and it has to be excellently told in a small space of time between pay-per-views.
Right.
And it's really difficult. I don't think either company.
Not easy.
I don't think either company shined last year on a creative standpoint.
No. I think with WWE, at least what's good about WWE is that you're having different storylines in the paper. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to have, the WWE champion defend on both pay-per-views. You can have one and then the other, and then they mix in, the SNMEs that are big events, but aren't people. So you're spreading out your storylines. You're not getting, I don't need to see the world title match defended on, October 12th and then November, 21st. Like that's you want more time to build between them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I think that the brand split idea for AEW, I've always thought was a good idea. I just don't think Collision is in a good enough spot to warrant having its own show Saturday night. I think if Collision was like on a Thursday, maybe head to head with TNA, again, it might suffer because they've got that spot now. But I just think Saturday night, if you were going to have like your own world champion on a Saturday night doing like 200,000 viewers, then I don't think that's a good look. So I would like to do a brand split, but obviously the wrestling week calendar is just so stacked with wrestling. There's wrestling every goddamn day.
Right.
It's difficult. I think Saturday night is a really shit spot for them.
You've got to make your decisions with it. That's where it's like, I would love to watch more things and pay more attention to like what goes on in Evolve, because I hear good things, and then I would know about the talent when they're coming up to NXT. But there's only so much time in the day to do these things. There's a point where like I don't want to watch any more wrestling right now. I got other things I want to watch.
I if anything, I prioritize NXT at the moment. I think NXT is probably my favorite week to week show.
Oh, that's where that's
especially NXT with like the ladder match they had last week. I don't know if anybody saw it. It really showcased because the problem they've had for a long time is their men's division has been severely lacking because all the big guys get called up and it's like, where do we go now? But the guys they had in this ladder match is like a message saying this is our men's division going forward. Like Jackson Drake, Sean Legacy, Keanu Carver, like these guys are really good. And I'm excited.
That was a great main event.
It was, really good.
That's again where I compare it to like college sports here. I know you guys don't have it as much in the UK, but like for us here, like a college basketball or a football team, they're going to have not even as much anymore because people go pro as quick as they can, but you're going to refresh your team. So you're only going to get a star for 2, maybe 3 seasons, and then they go on to the pros. And so it's always refreshing, and there's always going to be something new. And what NXT has been good about is when people do go up, like you said, they have people that come in that are ready to go. They've been building them up. So it's not just like, here they are on day one, and now they got to start from the beginning. It's like, no, here they are in a title match and going forward and getting to be showcased. And then you've got a guy like Joe Hendry and Ricky Starks who are more seasoned veterans and can help guide people through and be the people they want to take down with it. It was, I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect Joe Hendry to win at all, which was awesome. I mean, I think it was like in like a week, it'll be a year until I went to a meet and greet and met him last year. And he's one of the nicest guys one of the nicest people I've met in wrestling. And you could tell he was beat. Like he came in just to do this signing. And it was, I'm sure he agreed to it before like the TNA and NXT partnership had come in, because he was the TNA champion, and his eyes, like he was falling asleep, but he was super nice to everybody, stood up, let people, took pictures with the belt and things. Like couldn't be a nicer guy. I'm excited that he's the NXT champion. So
yeah, cool. He's an awesome guy. You were telling me all about that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And I feel like everybody says that about him. Like I've yet to hear anybody be like, "Oh yeah, met Joe Hendry and he was a jerk." Like it seems like all the talent seemed to really appreciate and respect the guy, which is nice.
As we get ready to wrap things up,
shit. I didn't realize we've gone that long.
Zeus, are you a follower of TNA? Before I,
not really, and it is purely down to time.
Right?
Right. That's a right.
I kind of keep an eye on like the NXT crossover stuff, so I see Stax and Ariana on my TV, and they're the TNA champions, etc. But I don't follow the weekly show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, like you said, right now for me, it's going pretty much NXT first. Raw, SmackDown, and then I gotta put Dynamite in there because I watch it every week for the show.
Right? Yeah, Dynamite we do it. Dynamite we watch as work. Like we're doing it. We want to help out. We have to watch that one with it. I have to make sure to take notes and pay attention.
But that would be
yeah.
So if you want to, Zeus, you have anything left to say to people wise? Tell them where they can find you, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm the Honorary Zeus on Twitter. We do Twitter Spaces. Anyone wants to come and have a chat with us, great company, good conversations. And YouTube, I run a YouTube channel where we do WWE 2K, but we use comic book characters and cartoons downloaded from the creations, and we just throw them in a universe mode and see what happens. And it gets pretty crazy sometimes when you see Shrek versus Bugs Bunny in a Hell in a Cell match.
We'll jump on that later.
So yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I can see all the guys in the comments. Appreciate all you guys getting involved.
Absolutely.
I love being on with you guys. I want to do it more often, so I'm always happy to be here.
Hell yeah.
WrestleMania. Be ready Sunday.
Yeah, I'll have my Monster Energy drink ready at 5 a.m. and we'll go live afterwards.
Oh man, no, that'll be fun. No, we'll probably do WrestleMania Sunday show. We'll figure something out. That'll be fun for sure. Thanks for coming on. This was a lot of fun. I don't think I have anything else. George, you good, my friend?
Make sure the like button's hit the heart button in chat. Tell your friends about it.
Like, share, subscribe, all those good things there. There's donation options as well. And then, anybody for Zeus's channels, I've got both his YouTube and his X account in the description. Go ahead, give the guy a follow and subscribe. All that stuff's free, everybody. You can help everybody out. We're trying to make some fun content for you. Thanks for coming on, Zeus.
See you guys Thursday night, 9:30.
Yes, yep. And I'll be on Tuesday. I'll be on Toonie Talk Wrestling at 8 p.m. YouTube.com/@ToonWrestling. See you guys then. Peace, everybody.
Take it easy, guys. Peace.
We appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.